And welcome back, wrestling fans. It's time for Women's Championship action as we see the great Sisaki come out here today. And she's going to be taking on Nurse Mika, and you know, this one's been personal. Ever since Nurse Mika came out to congratulate the great Sisaki upon Sisaki winning that title from Ari Alexander, and Sisaki not just spitting in her face, but spraying her with that mist, potentially trying to blind Nurse Mika, you know that the bad feelings, they've been simmering. Sisaki, not the woman you can take your eyes off of in the ring. She is essentially a kaiju out there. And while fans, I know you aren't involved in the contest, if you get a ticket to watch her wrestle and you're sitting in the front 2 rows, be on guard because you are essentially a pedestrian at that point, sitting in the middle of traffic. And the referee, he's going to want to get those chains away from her. She's not going to be shy about using those if the mood strikes her. As you hear the fans, and in answer to their call, you hear the music of the woman who will challenge for the title tonight, adorned in the Santa cap with a shiner on her face, but fight inside of her heart, Nurse Mika. Mika not taking her eyes off the champion for a moment. If this wasn't about the title, she would still be focused. If it wasn't about the personal feelings, she would still be determined. But when you throw both of those things on top of her spirit as a wrestler, my friend, you have opened a door to hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the PWL Women's Championship. She needs no introduction. She is your PWL Women's Champion. From parts unknown, the great Sisaki. And introducing to you, from the Boone County Regional Medical Center, she is a former PWL Women's Champion. Put your hands together for Nurse Mika.
And as you hear once again, the fans beginning to chant the name of Mika, you can feel the anticipation from the crowd permeating through this building.
Stephen Hensley, what a co-main event we've got here on television this week. Both these ladies are ready. Both these ladies know what it means to be the victor in this match. Both these ladies looking to take home this gold.
And you know, while it's not the central point that we could be making right now, both of these women currently are undefeated on our program.
Absolutely. That is correct. And look at this. They're going right at it right away. Nice arm drag delivered by Nurse Mika. Sisaki gets back to her feet, and another.
Mika there to meet her, though, with a nice pump kick to the gut. And she's going to run in after her. Smashes her with her forearm, rolls out, goes back in one more time. Nice running uppercut.
You know, I think it needs to be said, Stephen Hensley, that we're seeing a little bit different Nurse Mika here tonight than we've seen in the past.
Well, she's very fired up. She's got all the cause in the world to be motivated, given everything that's happened and everything that's on the line.
Oh, and that maneuver delivered we've seen time and time again by the great Sisaki.
And you know, what a difference a couple weeks made. A couple weeks ago, Sisaki was out here. These fans loved her for being very much the same person she's being today. But because Nurse Mika stepped up to her, because the fans love Nurse Mika, now the great Sisaki isn't favored by them. And I've got to say, fickle fans.
Well, Stephen Hensley, make no bones about it. We know that you are a huge fan of the great Sisaki.
I like wrecking machines, that's all I'm saying. She's my favorite kaiju this year.
Look at that nice snapmare takeover. She backs up and delivers that elbow with some force.
Lateral press, no pinfall. Let me ask you a quick question here, kind of off subject.
Sure.
Godzilla versus Sisaki, who you got in that fight?
Sisaki.
All right.
The great Sisaki.
Sisaki versus Mothra.
I got to go with the great Sisaki.
How about Robo Godzilla?
Well, you know something, Stephen Hensley? The great Sisaki makes me nervous, and I'm not going to say that I'm gonna go for anybody but. I don't need her coming after me. You see what she's doing here tonight to Nurse Mika.
Yeah, but when you say that name, all fun and games aside, when you say Nurse Mika's name, when I ask you the question, can she beat Nurse Mika, I imagine there's going to be a pause.
There is a bit of a pause. I mean, the way that I call this one, or the way that I look at this one, this match is straight down the middle. It's even. Both women have a lot of speed. Both women are fierce competitors, and both women are hungry to take home that gold.
Sisaki pulling her back into the knee by the hair, and I don't
think the referee sees that,
Well,
Steven.
I think he does. He did start the 5 count there, but I was surprised he was in position, was on the other side. I thought she did a great job of hiding it.
I did too. Nurse Mika firing away and
coming
off the ropes. Oh, look at this. Nice reversal, and she rolls her up. She's even hooked that leg. I thought she had it there, Steven.
Unorthodox distribution of weight, but it looked like it was going to be very effective. I thought it could have been over there. And you see Sisaki choking Mika over the ropes there. She's seen so far, unfortunately. Nurse Mika, she's the kind of gal, she's got a lot in the tank there. So maybe the strategy now, deprive her of wind. Take that oxygen away. You got to wear her out before you can pin her out right.
Not only that, but I think the great Sisaki is trying to change the pacing of this match a little bit so that she can keep the upper hand. She's attempting to scoop Nurse Mika up. That didn't work out so well.
No, it didn't. Mika fought through with a crucifix pinfall attempt there, and while it wasn't pretty, it was really effective, and she almost stole the win.
Oh, look at this.
Mika, though, catches her, clubbing blow to the back, takes her down to the mat. I think there may have been a hair pull on that one as well, but again, you cannot argue with the effectiveness.
That's right. You can't argue with results, can you? Again, she's attempting to scoop Mika up. Again, what could she be going for here, Stephen Hensley?
Nice tumble through from that fireman's carry. And that's a good chance.
Places her shoulders on the mat. A little bit of a lackadaisical cover, if I may say. She's not going to get the job done like that.
No, and I hate to nitpick here because I do like Sisaki, but that was a lazy pin. You can't do that with a Nurse Mika.
No. I think Sisaki a bit off of her game. I think she maybe expected to have already won this match by now. I think maybe she expected to just bowl right over Nurse Mika.
Well, Sisaki climbing the ropes now. Nurse Mika dazed. She has incurred a lot of punishment over the duration of this one, but she runs in. She knows she's in trouble. She can't let Sisaki off the top, and she launched her down to the mat.
Look at that with force, Stephen Hensley.
She's trying to lock her up.
She's got that crossface applied.
If she pulls back a little bit harder, she can end this one. Sisaki in a trouble position. She's got to make it to the ropes or roll her over. She cannot stay in this for much longer.
Look, as if on cue, Sisaki heading towards that rope. Can she quite get her foot to it? I don't know, Stephen Hensley. I don't know.
She's inches away. She's just got to reach. She's got it.
Referee calling for the break.
And that was do or die for Sisaki.
Nurse Mika taking a page from the submission sorcerer Kincaid and applying that crossface to great effect lately.
Well, Mika's submission game is incredible. You can't go to sleep on that. She takes people apart in that ring. When we use this word sparingly, but it can absolutely be used for her. She's a mechanic as you see her lie in wait.
Oh, super kick delivered. Now, Stephen Hensley, I feel like she's losing precious time here. She didn't go immediately for the cover, and I think that could hurt her in the long run.
Well, she's winded, Schaefer. It's just that simple. She's been on the receiving end, and even fighting out that took a lot out of her. And you see right there, I think she normally would have been able to get that if not for the punishment already received by virtue of that absolute monster.
She delivered a spine breaker-like maneuver there and went for the
half
cover.
Bear hug, half spine buster.
Yeah, it was
a hybrid of sorts.
I'll call it a spine breaker.
Well, if it's coming from her, you're absolutely right. If it's coming from Sisaki, you can break your spine every time.
Absolutely. Look at this. She's put her in the corner. She's saying this is over. She winds up and heads in with a full head of steam and finds nobody home. Stephen Hensley, the tide of this match is getting ready to turn.
Well, Sisaki, while she came in with as much steam as she had left, she's running out. And you saw her try to grab at the leg of Mika there, but just so little in the reserves right now. I think all that time she spent just putting the boots to Mika, just laying into her, she wore herself out. But Sisaki ducks out of the way. Nurse Mika runs in after her. Sisaki, while she got a glancing blow to the face, held on to her, threw her down to the mat by one arm.
Grabbing another handful of the hair as she brings Nurse Mika back to that vertical base, winds up and just launches her into the ropes.
And Sisaki staying on top of her, using all of her weight, just leaning into her throat, just choking as much air as she can out of her. And that's why I was saying a moment ago, I think the best you can do is take all the wind away from her. Mika's got wind, she's a problem.
Absolutely. She's a problem. She's got a lot of power. And look at this. Look at this, Steven.
Well, she got caught and she got dropped. Flatliner, face first. This can be a knockout. And
both
while
women down.
Mika's moving around, but she's dazed.
Yeah, both women down. Both women dazed. Both women have been through a lot of punishment right here in the squared circle on television tonight.
And we want to remind you, fans, if you love tremendous wrestling action like this, in case you lost track or you're watching us on YouTube, 9 o'clock's New River Network, Retro Reset Rasslin.
That is correct, Stephen Hensley, and that's where anybody with any sense is on Thursday nights here in southern West Virginia.
You know, I heard we're so popular, they banned that question on Jeopardy.
Oh!
And that spinning side slam, that's lights out if she hooks the leg. One and done.
You got it. We've got a winner, the great Sisaki.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still PWL Women's Champion, the great Sisaki.
Well, despite a very fervent effort on the part of Nurse Mika, the great Sisaki
going home with that gold yet again. She's on fire here in Retro Reset Wrestling. Your women's champion, Stephen Hensley, the great Sisaki.
And fans, you can expect to see her stomping through Beckley, West Virginia, stomping through Mount Hope, and anywhere she darned well pleases. And you're going to want to stick with us. We've still got huge main event action for you. Former NWA World Tag Team Champion, Hall of Famer Ricky Morton, and the Wrestling Machine Corey Sparks taking on Tyler Osborne and Lane Callie. Coming up next.
Welcome to Retro Reset Video Games and Collectibles, located at Crossroads Mall in Mount Hope, West Virginia. We have thousands of video games, consoles, and accessories, as well as a wide variety of affordable and high-end collectibles, including cards, comics, Hot Wheels, Funko Pops, and vintage toys, all ready for you to buy, sell, or trade. We also host celebrity meet and greets and vendor shows, as well as private parties. So visit Retro Reset today at Crossroads Mall or online at retroent.tv.